This is Bill from the Sit Rep Podcast. We are coming to you live and in color on the next exciting video and / podcast recording. And today we're going to do a wrap up of Adepticon with my two roving reporters, Marty and Chris. And on top of that, we're going to do the news updates, catch up on everybody. And then we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. How do you play miniature wargaming or tabletop wargaming without miniatures? So sit back, and of course, we may rant and rave about something else that comes across, as typical. We hope you enjoy the show, and get ready as I get ready to set the music in 3, 2, 1.
Big Duke 6 Eagle Thrust. Put on War off, make it loud. And the Romeo Foxtrot, shall we dance?
You are listening to the Sitrep Podcast, your source for everything related to historical wargaming. Whether you are looking for the latest wargaming news, reviews, painting tutorials, or playthroughs, you will hear about it right here. So grab your favorite beverage or brush and let's hit it.
All right, we are back, and I actually got rid of the screen graphic this time. I'm so proud of myself.
All right.
So here we are. It is now episode 9, I think, of season 7, I believe. So we have everybody at the table and across the interweb. And here in the SitRep studio, I do have our computer guy, our guru of all things electronical, Mr. Chris. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. And then our project director. You know what? You ever read, Marty, do you ever read?
Did you say read?
Yeah,
No.
You read. We're all prolific readers. That's one thing we cannot say we don't do.
Okay,
Yeah, it helps being grounded to our rooms for like all of high school.
Yeah. Do you ever read the Dirk Pitt Adventures, Clive Cussler books?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
So Dirk Pitt, he's like the hero of those books. It's underwater, a lot of stuff, kind of like an American version of a blue collar James Bond type guy. I mean, really good books. But he's Dirk Pitt, the projects director of NUMA, which stands for National Underwater Marine Agency, which is like, it's like NOAA, but CIA-ish. It's kind of weird, right? So he's always getting into these weird, unusual things with a historical background. So
I was trying to say, sounds like some gaming scenario opportunities there.
So
And a little bit of James Rollins too.
Yeah. So our hey, Chip is on. Hey, Chip, long time. Loves the Dirk Pitt books. So Marty, our projects director.
I will have to check that out.
I listen to him in the car when I go to work. So I really enjoy him. Do you remember the old movie from the 80s? We actually just watched it the other night because after reading one of the newer books, Race the Titanic. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
That's Dirk Pitt. That was a Clive Cussler book.
Oh, okay.
Did you see Sahara with Matthew McConaughey in it? Where they go down the Nile or that river in Africa and find that old ironclad in the middle of the desert? If you haven't seen it, it's a good movie.
I have not.
But that's Dirk Pitt too. But that, honestly, unfortunately, that book or that movie gets really far off of what Dirk Pitt really is like. And Al Giordino, which is his sidekick, who was played by, I can't remember that guy's name, but it's still an entertaining movie. But
I got some homework to do there.
Yeah, so project director.
So maybe a little something to throw on while I'm slapping some little plastic dudes around with a brush and paint.
Right. And all the way from sunny Florida is our historical editor, the man behind the machine, Mr. Big Jim Mariskany. How are you, sir?
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Hopefully it is sunny down there today because it's not up here.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of is.
Yeah. I actually looked at our long-term forecast. I don't think we're going to see the sun until like the end of the month.
Like 10 days of just kind of rainy, crappy, drizzly weather up here is forecasted.
You'd think we live in
England.
Northwest, right? Don't they usually have? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to change the title of this. What guys talk while I fix this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to have snow today.
Shut up,
Potentially,
man.
Yeah. Well, it was like yesterday when I got up to go to work. There was snow on my car. I'm like, what? This is bullshit.
Oh, it's good sleeping though. Open the windows.
Yeah, we always sleep with our window open, no matter what the temperature.
You freaks. I'm not the one. I prefer the heat.
For the first time, you're not the freak.
Yeah. got that going for me. But yeah, the weather up here is not super fantastical. I mean, it's not totally uncommon for it being spring in the upper Midwest, but doesn't mean I gotta like it. I'm ready for some 75 and sunny. Close my backyard, and my dogs are tearing it up because it's a giant sponge.
All right, so updated. Boom,
Bam, done.
Update. Okay,
Enhance.
I love that movie. That was, if you guys don't know what the reference were, it's Super Troopers.
Super Troopers.
And Chris, you were with us on a night out. We took you to Rips, the chicken place. Remember? We went to the bars and we went to that chicken place.
Oh, is this when I was
in
driving?
your Suburban?
Yeah, I remember that.
So Chris is very familiar with my police department. When I retired from Sandwich Police Department, that's been 10 years now.
Good.
But
we're past a statute of limitations.
Right. Hey, good morning, Normus Templar. But the point being is, if you've ever seen the movie Super Troopers, that truly was my police department. I swear to God. Ravs, you remember Ravs, right?
Yeah.
So the scene where you see the one guy come over the highway guard fishing? Ravs is retired now, so we can talk about this. Ravs used to go to the golf course and bowfish during work.
Bowfish.
So he actually caught a huge ass carp. I mean, huge. Took it into the police department, into the dispatcher's bathroom, and put the big old fish in their toilet. So it wouldn't fit in because it's so big, and it hung out. But anyways, so yeah, as you can tell, that they were not happy.
I was gonna say, I bet he was real popular that day.
So I mean, there were times like on traffic stops, somebody would sneak into another person's car in the back seat, and this is before some of our cars had cages in them. And then the officer would come back to the car, would sit down and start doing his thing, and somebody would grab his shoulder, and he would try and grab his gun from, So yeah, we did a lot of stupid things.
Yeah,
but it was fun. All right, guys.
You gotta
now. There's body cameras on everyone.
Yeah,
you can't get away with it.
People don't have a sense of humor like they used to. All right, so let's do some updates. Jim, I think you went last time, so we're going to have you go first this time. What have you been up to, sir?
Miami Vice,
yeah,
Air War C-21 in Korea, and Team Yankee Pinch Leader, or I should say Red Army Pinch Leader. Let's go with the good book. No, Team Yankee's good. Team Yankee's a solid second. But in that whole genre, Ralph Coyle's Red Army is straight out the best.
Is it? I haven't
and
read
not
that
just
one.
because it's about the Russians. So everyone put away your jokes. It's just the best written book. But yeah, Team Yankee is like literally a very close second. But yeah, that general 1980s what if kind of mythos. We're doing that today. Our counter sets are posted up on our Facebook and our Discord. So that game kicks off in about 4 hours. So
Nice.
I'm happily drawing the map, doing a little bit of multitasking as we record this. So if I'm a little slow on any questions, I do apologize. But between that, Air War C-21. So we've done Air War C-21 in Korea in the past. We've done Mig Alley. We wanted to change it up a little bit because that was the topic of interest for the person that was volunteering to game with us. That was our friend Rasmus. Thanks very much, Rasmus.
Raz,
Yeah.
my buddy.
And also, I mean, what we did for Air War C-21 in Korea was very, very, pardon the pun, very much of a flyby. I mean, it was like, here's some MiG-15s, here's some F-86s, discuss. I mean, it was like super fast. Here, okay, look, there's different versions of the F-86. They didn't just have fighter sweeps. This time we had some B-29 bomber escort missions over that northwestern coast of North Korea. So yeah, we pretty much sort of dug down into it a little bit more. That footage is in the can. I'm hoping to have some of it up maybe by the weekend.
Nice.
The weekend coming up.
Yep.
Again, I'm hopefully, we're definitely playing today. I'm not sure if we'll record any of it, but we're definitely going to play it. That Team Yankee / Red Army / Third World War in Europe. I won't mention the other books because they're not worth mentioning.
Tell us how you really feel, Jim.
Jim, have you read Chieftain? I hear that's supposedly a different good book. I don't know. I've never read it.
Chieftain is not bad. It is. You know what Chieftain reminds me of? Chieftain is a book. This is a guy who used to write novels. This Chieftain was a book that somebody started writing in the late 70s. I have no idea if this is true. This is baseless speculation on my part. Chieftain sounds like or feels like a book. Yes, I have read it, and it is pretty good. It's not as good as Team Yankee. It's definitely not as good as Red Army. It is, however, much better than Red Storm Rising, which has one good scene in it, and the rest of it is trash. But Chieftain is it feels like a novel that somebody was writing, kind of gave up on, stuck it in his drawer, and then like 10 years later, he's like, hey, I should publish this. Got it out, slapped an ending on the end of it. Very, very rushed and out of nowhere ending. I get what he was going for. I won't spoil it, but it's very much like, oh shit, I want to publish this. I never finished it, and now I actually have somebody interested in it, like a publisher or a lit agent or something like that. Let me hurry up and come up with 20 pages at the end. You know, it feels like the ending is very disjointed, which I think was kind of again, I won't spoil it, but yeah, the ending feels tacked on, to say the least.
And can you do that again?
But what? No, you're not making a soundboard. You're not making a soundboard out of my hamburger impression.
Oh, come on.
One good thing about Chieftain is that it does take a look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So there's plenty from the Americans. The great thing about the Russians is that it's from. The great thing about Red Army is that it's from the Russian perspective.
Yeah.
Gives them way too much credit, as we've learned. But like, you know, how the thing might have looked from the from the Russian perspective if they had kind of gotten their shit together. They don't exactly win, so I won't spoil the ending. But it was written by Ralph Coyle, used to be a defense intelligence analyst, specialized in Russian studies or whatever. So he knows what he's talking about. But anyway, I got off topic there. The one good thing about Chieftain is that it looks at everything from the British perspective. I don't know of too many books or techno thrillers that look at that particular topic from a point of view other than the Russians or the Americans, especially the Americans. So there's a whole bunch of American stuff out there. Some of it's good, some of it's trash. Especially since the guy who kind of started that whole subgenre, Sir John Hackett, was of course British. That's more of a global perspective.
Yeah.
But anyway, which is the cinematic universe, air quotes, that Team Yankee takes place in. Team Yankee, Harold Coyle, that was his first novel. He didn't make up that world. He didn't set that universe. He writes in his prologue, hey, I'm totally stealing from two people. Number one, Sir John Hackett, I'm using his universe. And then most of his experiences, I mean, apart from his own on training exercises, I don't think he ever actually saw armored combat, from Kahalani's The Heights of Courage, which is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the Oriskany top 10 reading list. Is that one? But that's not a novel. That's an actual memoir. That shit happened.
Yeah.
But Chieftain is it's a British perspective, and I'm saying that it feels like it was written in the late 70s because some of this equipment, and especially for the Americans, that he describes in there is like, whoa, that's not how it turned out, bro. I mean, to be fair, Team Yankee suffers from the same problem. Team Yankee is based on the universe of Sir John Hackett's Third World War, August 1985, which was also written in the late 70s. Takes place in 85. So by the time you get to 85, yeah, some of the stuff didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
As far as what vehicles and equipment, but yeah, Chieftain's pretty good.
Yeah. So if you notice, I'm broadcasting everybody's comments, and you'll see me do thumbs up and things for comments. We are now going to open up the phone line.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No. So anybody watching, if you are interested in joining the conversation at any point in time, you can send a message on here, and I'll private message you and with a link, and you can call in via Skype if you have Skype access, and you're welcome to join the conversation at any time.
There are dudes queued up that are going to be like, yeah, that guy's full of crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
We welcome all points of view as long as they're professional
I didn't say they were
polite and things like that.
I assume you're talking about me.
You,
So,
me,
you know,
the
but
rookies in the
if you
crew.
really have something you'd like to add to the conversation at any point in time, you are welcome to join the conversation since we are now awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Damon and Tuffy Ears are with us.
Yeah,
Hello?
we got Damon. We got Tuffy
Yeah,
Ears.
okay.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up?
Chieftains was published in 1982. My point exactly. When was it written?
Yeah.
Read that book again and tell me when it was written. Chieftains was published in 82, which already makes it earlier than the bulk, which is to its credit. It already puts it way out in front of most of the people in that genre. That genre kind of kicked off with Hunt for Red October, which is awesome. Yeah. I'm not a complete Tom Clancy hater. I did meet him once, very, very briefly. Tom Clancy, I'm not a complete Tom Clancy hater. He gets way too much credit. Larry Bond wrote most of the good parts of these good books, which is kind of a shame because when Larry Bond went to write his own techno thrillers, it just didn't work because reading a Larry Bond book is like chewing on drywall and washing it down with sawdust.
So he was more the technical writer, and Tom Clancy was the fluff. Yeah. I guess. I mean, to put it generically.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I would go with
that. Tom Clancy's the not the to use a sports analogy. He's not the analyst. He's the color guy.
Yeah, he's the color guy. All right. So, Jim, do you have anything else you would like to add for your update, sir?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got way off track there. Hello to Damon. And hello to Chip. Chip, it's been too long, man. Damon, that guy is never quiet, and especially Tuffy Ears. I'm just kidding, Damon and Tuffy Ears. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming out.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
So,
sir?
For me, let's see. What did I do to advance my hobby this last 2 weeks? Well, I have dramatically added to my pile of shame.
How did you do that?
Prepare yourself, sir.
You might want to get ready for your
strap
soundboard.
in.
Oh, God. So
hold on.
Hold on. It'll take a second to get you there. So
go ahead.
Marty and I met a really good guy, Steve Frat. Frat Spiel Games. He's got a great system for Civil War.
Okay.
Steve is a local guy, by the way. Okay. HMGS lives not far from us up here in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah. I really like his system. He makes it dead fucking simple.
Okay.
So we talked to him, and I might have purchased the Civil War from Warlord Games.
The starter set. All 2,400 pieces.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you gentlemen know that is one thing I will not be giving away.
Okay, I don't need it.
Well, he's got one now. Now
you can never have enough Civil War miniatures. Let's be honest.
I was gonna say he didn't get the all-in Kickstarter set, so
like me.
It's not as much as you got.
All right.
You know, this came in one box, not 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
no, I'm really happy with it. And to be honest, Civil War was never a war that I was interested in when I was younger. My dad was in Vietnam. I grew up watching Baba Black Sheep, so I like the war in the Pacific.
Sure.
And I really didn't read or pay attention, believe it or not, with anything before that.
Right.
I knew the big stuff, and it's actually got me reading books on it now, and
nice.
I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Yep.
Welcome to the club, sir.
Yep.
Yes.
So in a couple of weeks, I'll be talking more about Steve's new game.
Okay.
He actually is ready to go live with it.
Perfect. And I heard you built a few bases or cut a few bases. Just a few.
Marty said he needed a couple. So
what is a couple in your book?
The joys of having a laser cutter at your disposal. Hey, Chris, I need some 25mm bases.
Okay. So I had a sheet of 2x2 MDF. I threw it on the printer and just did the grid out because cut a couple pieces out of the wood and leave it, right, with a couple little holes in it.
Yeah.
So I just did a
how many?
464.
464 bases.
Yeah. It took a couple.
Probably could have got another row out of it, to be honest. But
464 bases.
Yeah,
you're in bases for a while. So, most games they use 20mm bases.
Yeah, but I don't, so it doesn't matter.
You know what? So here's the thing. when it comes to bases, you know, like I think Spectres is 20, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was 20. Could be 25. If anybody out there knows, hit us up on comments. Let us know.
I didn't know they did
Yeah,
anything with bases.
yeah, they do. Actually, they do.
My Spectre miniatures came with no bases.
No,
Most miniatures come with no bases.
Yeah, the rules will say, you know, this is the base, and then
yeah.
base movement off of that
Yeah.
kind of deal.
So I like 25 millimeter bases. Why do I like them? If I'm not going with the clear acrylic bases, which I do have like on our Benghazi board.
Because they're 1 inch.
No.
That's not what you
Because
like?
it gives me more space to do what?
Yeah, so now you can remember.
Base.
Yeah, you
can do some nice basing,
yeah,
right?
because remember what I said about, you know, one of the things when we were at Adepticon, I said a great lesson that I learned is bases count.
Yeah.
It
adds to the flavor of the mini, right? Or the presentation.
It does, because there were some dudes that had some very similar models. And what really tipped it in is that this guy went whole hog on his base, and this other guy, you know, they did something for the base, but you know, it wasn't that much. Even though their model is outstanding.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can do on a guy that's 1.5 inches tall, you know.
No.
Oh, as it
turns out. Contraire, mon frere.
But no, what I'm saying is to set them apart. I mean, they can only do so much when everybody else has great painting skills.
I respectfully disagree with you, sir.
Okay.
But that's why you need the bigger base to be able to do it.
What we're getting at.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I misheard you. Okay.
What really makes them stand out is, you know, that epic base that ties in the whole thing.
Right. So, Jim, what's your thoughts on basing? I know you're more of the hex encounter, you know, type game. But when you do your miniature games, what's your thoughts on basing?
Well, a lot of the miniature gaming I do is, which I do some, obviously. Is more of a unit-based game, rank and file, American Revolution stuff. And to your point earlier, the base, the size of the base is not just, oh, well, this is what I prefer, this is what I prefer. It's a critical part of the rules.
Yeah.
The base has to be a legal size and shape.
Right.
That's because your unit, your formation, stuff like that is based on a lot. You don't see a lot of that in skirmish gaming. They're pretty much round bases. This is where you get into the whole huge debate, which I don't want to open up. I mean, you might as well try to solve the Israeli-Palestine conflict first.
Are you talking square versus round?
Round versus square. Yeah, exactly.
We'll get that knocked out by the end of the show.
I think that's a symptom more of I like actual unit-based war games, or I like skirmish-based war games.
Yeah.
I think that's where that it's a symptom of a bigger argument, which is why it never gets solved.
Right.
But anyway, I like to do bases. I crush up cat litter so it's the right scale, or I dust in some same. Sometimes same is too shiny.
Yeah.
Of course, I put the usual, moss and stuff like that on there. I've seen some people whose bases are just, totally to your point, Marty. Sometimes I think they spend more time on the base than the miniature.
Sure.
And to that effect, I mean, the base. What puts it over the top is the base.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you're doing a whole army, I get it. You're probably not going to go whole hog on them. But if you're doing, like a display piece, or like this is the pride of my army, it's the best, character, vehicle, whatever, and you want to make an extra impact with it, go deep on the base. It'll punch it up. Regardless of the quality of the figure, if you've got a good base, it will make the whole thing overall appear better.
Yep, I agree.
That's a lesson I learned through observation, and I might have taken a basing class.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the Adepticon stuff separately. Any other hobby things, sir?
I purchased a thing from one of the companies I'll talk about a little bit later.
Okay.
To help organize my Star Wars Armada.
Okay. What did you get?
Nice. Well, we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
And no, that's about it.
Cool. All right. All right. Now have one of our fine followers on the show today. I believe it was Damon, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure why is this all? He saw us refueling. Oh no, it was Nova's Templar. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, that maneuver was an air refueling coffee refill in action. So I just downloaded an air refueling picture. So every time we refuel a coffee, I'll just throw that up there real quick. Very cool. All right.
So what about you, Marty? What kind of freebasing do you like doing?
I wish it was free base.
Wait,
Free basic materials, not not with a spoon and a lighter.
Right.
Not that kind.
All right. Anything else, sir?
No.
I'm impressed. Welcome to the club of American Civil War.
And
you will really like it. You really will.
Yeah.
And as the show goes on, you'll find out that's not all.
Okay. Over to you, sir.
All right. So I have been working on my Afghan civilians that I got from Chris and Alex.
Okay.
So I forgot that so my hobby space isn't the most organized. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait a minute. Is that as bad as mine?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
so I didn't realize that I had set a bunch of these dudes, like, I don't know, it's like 8 or 10 of them. Had them in the bag they came in. I set them off to the side, and then there was just crap piled on top of them. And I was looking for something else, and then I was like, "Oh, I've got more of these."
How that happened?
So I've got they're in progress. They're all primed.
Yep.
I've started painting them up and kind of doing. I'm kind of going try hard on them a little bit.
Okay.
Just because I want to, one, it's not that many. It's not like I'm painting a whole army. And two, I just want to see if I can, work on my skills a little bit.
Right.
And then once I figure out something, see if I can figure out how to do that faster when I do, like squads or whatever. So those guys are on the table, as well as I've had some one of the Spectre covert boxes from last year. I've had that in progress for a year. Because projects kept coming up and I just never came back to them. So I've been working on that. And then because we were talking about Black Powder Red Earth, I'm like, there's a couple of contractor looking dudes in here that would do that. So I did the red shirt scheme, kind of like our miniature here on the table. So I did that on a couple of them just to do it because it could. And then I've got a couple other dudes that are, like I said, in progress. They'll be like multi-cam and whatnot, so that
very nice.
Takes a little longer because it's like 7 colors.
Did I tell you I got more Ultra Combat Modern miniatures in? He sent me another whole set.
What?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
A couple weeks ago.
Oh, no, you didn't tell you that.
Yeah, I got those. Anyway,
good deal.
And
Piotr is in the house.
What's up, hero?
Yeah,
Piotr.
All right,
glad to hear from you.
Marty's not done.
So,
keep on going, sir.
So I got 464 bases because I needed to put my 8 guys on something because I was running out of bases. So I get 400 of them.
There you go.
All
Actually,
right,
Bill, you're getting some of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot to bring them over, but
hey, have you started cutting acrylics?
No.
Okay.
But
we'll talk about that.
I was talking about Marty's not done.
Oh, sorry, bad, my bad.
I have been also working on our project, so I've been printing out boats for our midway game. So I've got maybe half of them.
Nice.
What I've discovered is I kind of go slow. I don't fill up the base with them because I'm trying to keep track of which one of those little boats is which, and some of them look so similar that
I didn't slice them for you. I just gave you the STL files, correct, or the raw file.
Raw file, yeah.
So what I've been doing is I've been grouping per Jim's spreadsheet, like the carrier. If you look at the spreadsheet, it said like the carriers group. Yep. So I would put the whatever was in that listed group on that build plate, and I would title it, so I knew exactly what I was printing.
Yeah. So what I've ended up doing is kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
Is I will group them by class and type. The number that we need based off the spreadsheet, except for one instance. And that's the aircraft carriers. I can only fit one aircraft carrier on my build plate because it goes diagonally edge to edge and fills my entire.
I thought you had a bigger build plate.
Not that big. It's 130 mil, I think, wide.
Are you printing the American ones or the Japanese ones?
Japanese.
No, you're printing the Americans.
Or no. Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute.
I'm printing the Japanese.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say that the American. I remember Bill's preview, which looked really awesome, by the way. I'm sure we'll talk about that in just a second. And so I saw that one was obviously Japanese, so I assumed Marty was printing the Americans. Yeah. The American carriers are bigger.
Yeah, and
American carriers are physically larger than Japanese ones.
Which isn't that big a deal because there's only 3 of them that I got to print out. So I print out one, and then it kind of divides my build plate in half, and then I put one group on one side, one group on the other side.
Yeah.
It's a slower process. I could put a lot more stuff on my build plate because let's face it, these aren't that big.
Right.
But it's easier for me to keep track of and not mess up what's what.
Yeah.
If I do it that way.
Yeah.
You know.
No. However you do it. Yeah. I mean, that's the nice thing. Jim, the spreadsheet Jim put together was really nice. It's helping me a lot.
Yeah.
And if you look at it now, you'll see I've color coded some of the names, and that's showing what I've printed or created files for ready to print. So yeah.
I've just been keeping a running list on my hobby table next to the 3D printer as I build stuff out. So that way I can tell what's built, what's on the plate, and what needs to what I need to label it as it comes off.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been tracking it that way, analog style.
Yeah,
so give me a second here. Hold on a minute, guys. I want to say thank you to everybody who's joining us this morning. This is the biggest group of live followers I've seen. We're up to 10 people watching us right now. I know that doesn't seem like a lot when you consider.
Wait a minute. When did we get 10 fans? Hold on. How many of those are bots?
No, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody who's joining us this morning.
Indeed. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Please join our conversation either in the comments or if you really would like to join the show. Send us a quick message saying, hey, I'm interested. I'll private chat you with a link to get you via Skype into the conversation. So yeah, we would love to have anybody as we get delve into our convo. Tuffy Ears just sent something in binary. 000100100101.
She's obviously way smarter than I am because
Chris, what's that?
It's binary. What you just said.
Yeah, but you should be able to convert that. You're the computer guy.
It's okay. I can sit down and tell you what number.
On, off, on, off, on, off, on. That's it. I'm tapped out.
All right.
That's all I know about it.
All right. So, anyways, please continue, Chris. Your thought? You forget?
Well, no. What you were saying that you were going slow. Remember, slow is fast.
No, slow is slow. Okay,
slow is accurate.
So maybe.
So another movie.
So slow is smooth is fast. Yeah. That's a great way if you're just starting something, but it turns out fast is fast. So go fast if you want to do fast things.
Yeah. Well, fast comes with practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Piotr says we are robots.
All right. So let's see. I'm trying not to go into all the shows Adepticon stuff yet. So I think that'll do for now.
Okay.
We'll talk about more stuff going on, and I'll probably remember some shit.
So I got actually a lot to talk about.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Believe it or not.
Oh, put some music. But
anywho, so as you all have seen, I printed up the aircraft carriers, the Akagi, the Suru, the Hiru, and what's the fourth one?
The ramen?
Not the ramen. You dork. Anyway. All right.
Akagi, Kalaga, Hiryu, Suryu.
Thank you.
There you go.
Red Dragon, Red Castle, Increased Joy, Soaring. Oh, wait, I'm going to screw this up.
I think it's not White Castle.
No, hold on. Akagi, Red Castle, Kaga, Increased Joy, Hiryu, Flying Dragon, Soryu, Green Dragon.
Nice.
Or what those four carriers
I
are.
did not know that's what the literal translation was. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I've got those printed up. I primed them. I'm starting the painting. I painted the wood decks. Jim, help me on this one because I cannot find all the true pictures of like the Akagi that I have found do not have the freaking red meatball on the deck. Only in the movie versions. Is that true?
It depends on when in the war.
At Midway time.
Midway.
Yeah. Did it really have the red meatball?
They had very, very big and distinctive markings on all the flight decks to help the pilots tell the difference between the carriers.
Okay.
So they didn't land on the flight carriers. I do have their actual markings, but that could be from other operations. But the carriers did have those distinctive markings.
Okay. So
not only on the bow, but also on the fantail of the flight deck.
Okay.
I do have those patterns if you want to get super accurate.
As it turns
for
out,
all 6 carriers.
Okay.
As it turns out, we're not big Brevet counters here, so
well, I mean, I just don't want to paint a stupid big old meatball on it if it really didn't happen. That was just something they put in the Midway movie.
dude, I'm really cool. Put it on there.
So no. So the historical reference pictures I have found, Jim, show the wooden deck, and they show the I'm gonna, for lack of a better description, the landing lines or the lane markers. You know, and then they do have the hatches in different colors. And at the fantail of the Akagi, it is like a different gray with some parallel stripes. And I'm assuming that's to show landing zone. And this is this ship. So
all technically there are 6. Only 4 were at Midway, but Kidu Butai actually contains 6. So all 6 of those carriers do have their own patterns. As far as whether or not it had the actual the red Japanese flag on the bow, they did and they didn't. I honestly don't know when, because those carriers, of course, operated in other campaigns and battles besides Midway.
Right.
So I'd have to. I honestly don't know. I do know that those ships had those flags on the forward part of the flight deck at some time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Absolutely. Whether or not they had them at Midway, I don't know. I'm like 95%. But if you do see, if anyone finds historical reference photos with those flags not on the flight deck, that's altogether possible.
Okay. Well,
I can't see that they changed that much. I mean, you don't change your house numbers.
Well, I mean, remember though, combat situations create different scenarios, right? I mean, you think about it. As the war progressed, paint schemes and things on aircraft and armored vehicles and stuff changed due to circumstances and terrain and events. So, I mean, I could possibly
slightly off topic, but the Bismarck famously did that.
Yeah.
The Bismarck went out on her one and only mission. She left with a huge, right across that same spot on the bow, a red band.
Oh, hey Jim, buddy.
We kind of lost Jim at the moment, but I do know what he's talking about. If you look at some of the photos, it is like there you are.
Got rid of that.
Yeah. So, Jim, you might want to repeat that, sir. We kind of lost you there for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm back. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All I was saying was the Bismarck did famously do that. What you guys are probably talking about. Again, not really the Pacific, but a naval World War II operation with a ship that had a very large national ensign right there on the forward part of the deck.
Yeah.
Had the big red band, white circle, and black swastika. Right like 40 feet wide, right there on the foxhole. And then like 3 days out from Norway, the captain, actually the rear admiral in charge of that whole task force, sent the crew out there with some buckets of gray paint, and they just got rid of that shit.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's nothing like bomb here, right?
Yeah.
So
aim torpedo here,
right?
Yeah.
So okay, so I mean, personally, I am going to paint the deck with the flight lines and the hatch. The elevator were painted gray, and going to weather it, and that's going to be it. Because Chris is going to make acrylic bases at some point, and we'll have the names on them. Unless there's something that screams paint the meatball, the Japanese flag here. I'm going to make it look that way. So, I'll
scream it.
Shut up, Marty.
It's just because I think it looks cool. I like it.
So anyway, working on the ships. I finally got my Twilight 2000 Kickstarter, the actual collector's edition 10. It came in.
Ooh.
I have yet to look at it, but I'm going to read that.
The Teenage Vampire series?
No. Do you not remember Twilight 2000?
It's so hard to find good help.
Right?
I'm just giving you a hard time.
That deserves this. So anyway, I found a whole bunch of miniatures, cleaning out the hobby space. All right. So found a whole bunch of miniatures up. I still want to do the board for Savage Frontiers,
Yes.
Yeah.
Which will sort of lead into one of the things I'm going to talk about when we get to talking about Adepticon.
Okay. Oh, springtime is joining.
Sorry. Sorry.
Earthquake.
Yep. I heard the handicap.
Help. Nice. Chris, you're full of them today. All right. Springtime has joined the show.
I just want you to know that was not me falling out of a chair.
Yep.
All right. So listen to this. How would you game something like the reported Ukrainian Mi-24s attack on the Russian fuel depot or use of different type of ATGMs and law weapons by the same side in future games? That is a heavy topic.
We've been doing it for a couple years.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So
I was gonna say we have a
springtime. If you hold on,
do
a
we
minute,
have all of that?
We will talk about that shortly. Let's get through the updates real quick and the news, and then we can talk about those.
I was gonna say we I come up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, springtime. When are you coming up to Chicago?
Yeah, we need some spring in here. Spring needs to be sprung.
According to Piotr, the Akagi did not have the rising sun, as so to speak, during Midway. Thank you, sir.
Ah, well, there we go.
All right, so
yeah, that's what I was kind of afraid of. I mean, I know it had it sometimes and not others. I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I'm actually not surprised.
Yeah, it makes. I mean, I could see it in the beginning of the war. You know, they're thumping their chest. We're Japan. We're spreading the empire, et cetera, and then after Coral Sea and things got heated and.
Well, I could also see that
the Americans have carriers too. Oh my God, we should probably not advertise our presence.
Yeah, but I could also see that they're trying, as the war goes on, and now they've got an influx of inexperienced pilots.
Yeah,
that they're like, hey, bro, land here, not on that other one.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those memes, Jim? You might know about this. Have you seen the pictures of when a Navy pilot lands on the wrong carrier? Yep. What they do to the plane?
Oh,
absolutely. And that did not happen in the Japanese Navy. They sorted out that problem. So the stuff on the fantail and the stuff in the middle of the ship, yes, the midships, leave all that on there. But if you want to get rid of the meatball, for sure.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Oh, you can't leave it hanging like that. What do they do to the Navy goods that land on there?
Yeah, I don't.
You
I haven't seen the meme. No, I don't
know.
So
there's a meme, a picture of. I'm assuming it seems like around Korean wartime. It's that type of aircraft.
It's like a P-90, something Cougar or something like that. It's one of the old straight wing jets.
Yeah. So they land on and the flight crew, deck crew writes all over the aircraft. Stuff like this pilot landed at the wrong place. Hey, I mean, they just trash. It's hilarious. You got. I'll see if I can find a picture and we'll post it up on the Facebook page.
Thanks for visiting.
Yeah. Stuff like this.
Nothing like shame to help you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, the military is a very warm and fuzzy place, and we do not make fun of each other.
And that was the day he got a new call sign.
Right. So, speaking of call sign, do we want to talk about this in the news? I'll bring it up in the news. But, so it's that time.
Listen up, people. It is time for the news with Marty. What in the wide of world wargaming is going on? Let's in on the scuttlebutt. Bring on the awesomeness that is wargaming.
Yes. All right. So I got some news items. Some of these are fairly long, so I will condense them.
Please do.
So those of you that are big into terrain and follow Mel Bowes, the terrain tutor, you might have noticed he's been kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
So he addressed that directly on his Facebook page, the Trainiacs Facebook page yesterday or the day before yesterday. And essentially what he's saying is that he's having a really hard time making videos. And it's not because of lack of motivation or creative juices or whatever. But, as Mel's had some health issues over the past year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he did have COVID. He collapsed along the whole 9 yards. He's had some serious issues. Well, he's kind of got some long hauler stuff, and he's got the brain fog going on. And he essentially says, I'm cranking these videos, and then I can't remember where I'm at or what I was doing, and I have to redo things and whatnot. So he said he feels bad about not producing high quality regular content. So he is going to look at kind of changing the plans until this clears up.
Yeah.
Instead of producing full on videos like he has in the past, he's looking at doing how does he say it? Maybe I'll show things off or a technique that I'm using, but the main thing is that he's got to talk terrain. So it'll kind of be, as he says, some baby steps and just some shorter talking head type of videos. until he's able to get through it. Additionally, he's been writing articles because writing is easy. You know, if he gets his brain fog, he can take a break, come back to it, and the writing is well written. Right. He can pick up where he left off, kind of thing. Yep. So he's going to be working on that. So we can expect to see some more from him in the future, it looks like, but in a different format and probably a little shorter.
Yeah.
So Mel, I love you. So keep doing what you do, and we look forward to what you got coming out, and hope you're back up and running full speed here as soon as you can.
Yeah. So last time I saw Mel was at Adepticon 2019.
Yep, right.
He stopped by the suite and checked in with us when we were Piece of Work crew on Tabletop. Yep. And prior to that, I saw him at UK Games Expo the year before in Salute. So,
and in 2019, they were just starting the book, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Him and Dave Taylor.
Yeah. So, yeah, awesome. So we wish him well.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for anybody out there in TV land.
Yeah.
And definitely in support of Mel, even without health issues and other considerations in life. Maintaining a normal video schedule
is hard.
Bleep hard.
It is.
Sure.
Okay. If you haven't run a YouTube channel, guys, it's not friggin' easy.
Yeah.
It's fun to make a video here and there, but to actually come out with like 2 pieces of content a week or whatever, on top of a job, on top of family, on top of girlfriend, on top of kids, on top of, is this boring yet? On top of, it's not easy.
It is not.
So yeah. And we recently changed our format. We stopped our Sunday streaming because sometimes it's just too hard. You have to, exactly what Mel's talking about.
Yeah.
You have to take a step back, do an honest, like they say in Black Hawk Down, an honest, no bullshit assessment.
Yep, right.
And say, okay, what's working, what isn't, and let's focus on what's working and let's ditch what isn't, and not be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
You may lose a couple subscribers. Too bad. You're going to get 50 more.
Yeah, you'll get
because you're not going to. And you're not going to shoot yourself in the mouth.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with this stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
I think totally get it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I think he's just trying to be super transparent with his fans, because everyone recognizes that this is not what it was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, look, this is it. This is what I can do. And I'm 100% behind him. Totally get it.
Absolutely.
And I'm a fan of I like the train stuff. So you want to talk about it, you want to show off a particular project or a little technique, I'm down.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't need to see your giant trench board project every video.
Yeah.
I totally get it. That's not a thing. So
again, we wish him well.
Yeah. Totally.
What you got next, sir?
All right. From Firelock Games, update on their Kickstarter for Raise Black. Much to our surprise,
delayed.
Probably November, it looks like.
Did you see they also announced the other one? You have that on your news?
Well, I don't, because we mentioned it last time. For Blood and Steel, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. But they are going to be doing that. But real quick, molds are being built, blah blah blah. The stuff that I've seen looks amazing, so I'm pretty excited about that. They've been showing off their sprues for the soldier and box of plunder, so you can go to their Facebook page and check that out, as well as if you're a Kickstarter, there's a message from your Kickstarters. It says, based on all the information that we have now, best case scenario, you'll begin to receive your pledges in August. Worst case scenario, November.
Yeah.
As is the truth with most things, probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
However, where's the part that I'm on? All right. So he's got a whole bunch of information in there. Go to their Facebook or Kickstarter if you want to read all of it. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is that freight, he says freight prices have soared since we've launched this project. Many other projects have understandably asked their backers for additional funds to help offset that cost. But we have decided to bite the bullet and eat the cost of this up front. So unless something radically, knock on wood, changes in the coming months, they're not going to go down that route.
Okay.
However, once these products hit retail,
Yeah,
they're
You're gonna
probably
see the
going to
cost.
go up in
Oh, yeah.
price. Yeah. You know, so
and that's I think the right thing to do.
Yeah, I was going to say
unless the cost was so overwhelming that they just couldn't deliver. You know,
right.
Yeah,
for sure. So so that's a little update there.
Nope. Keep going. I'm sorry. I got comments are exploding. So
all right, well, explode away. And Offensive Miniatures has a new release. They have Waffen SS Assault Pioneers and British Para Engineers, both in 28 millimeter metal. Kind of some good looking figures they got there. They're both a pack of 10. And I don't know what the exchange rate is, but the packs are 16 pounds a piece. So check that out if that is something that would enhance your games.
Mm-hmm.
Team Yankee has their World War III Warsaw Pact pre-order going on right now.
Yeah.
So if that's something that you think is interesting to you, the pre-order includes background on the East German Army and Panzer Division this, that, and the other thing, and some Czech stuff and some Polish stuff, the instructions how to build all of them.
So this is Warsaw Pact. So we're still in the 80s. So
yes.
Poland was still, unfortunately, the
still
Soviet Union at that time.
Yep.
So was East Germany. So the Panzers.
Right. And then a detailed painting guide to help prepare your Warsaw Pact forces, and a couple of scenarios come in the pack. So you can go to teamyankee.com and make a pre-order there if you are interested.
There you go.
Warlord Games. We kind of touched on this. So Combined Arms is their new game expansion. I'm not sure how to really
combiner.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it combines different formats together, right?
Yeah. So, not to go deep into our Adepticon stuff, but we talked to John Russell of Warlord Games at Adepticon, who showed us the book.
Yeah, so at the time, the only book.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got a chance to look at it. Of course, he's talking up the game because that's what he does.
Yeah. And he also blocked the exit.
Well,
yeah.
He
did that to me. Remember at Little Wars when he handed me the medal? What was it? Some of the Epic Battles Civil War guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This is the only box in existence in the U.S." And
he gives it to you.
Thanks.
And then he's like, "No, nice try."
Yep.
Yeah. But speaking of which, he will be at Little Wars.
So will we
next month, and he expects to have the proof copy of the cards that go with the game at that time as well to show off.
All right. So we'll do a show from Little Wars.
And also from Warlord Games, they currently have a 50% off sale for sprues. So if you want to buy individual sprues to, you can cherry pick that stuff to, flesh out a particular unit, or, you want to try and WYSIWYG some stuff that you didn't quite have right or whatever, go to the warlordgames.com. There's a link to their sprue sale, and you go there's a billion sprues. I'm not going through it all. Go to the webpage, take a look at it. They've got a pretty good deal on their sprues. So
good. Give me a second here. I want to just mention a few comments that are worth mentioning. I've already posted them on the live stream because I post them as they come up. But so Springtime says, sadly, Spring is my last name. And then they're asking for more clarification on how do you track Stunga P and Javelin such from getting confusing with other players. And then Bjorter says, I know what's going on with the format since I got back. It's like morning TV, chit chat, some topics, news with Marty, history with Jim. Damn, we miss a military weather forecaster. It never rains, but it pours. So weather is snafu. So Chris, we're going to make you the military weather forecaster.
I was going to say, I think we know who's getting that job.
And then Tuffy Ears goes, how many tractors are in the box? I'm assuming referring to the Warsaw Pact.
That's before they were using tractors.
Right. Yep. Springtime then says, could we see a Next War Japan or Next War Finland Sweden game or something else? Oh, it's always possible. And then lastly, P-Order says, John Deere, company of 5. 1 commander, 1 observer, and 3 troopers. Hilarious.
There you go. And by the way,
small company, only 5 vehicles.
Yeah, but it's a tractor and it pulls tanks.
I was gonna say you're just pulling tanks that are abandoned anyway. So
Right. All right. So you got.
I still haven't seen a tractor pull a single tank, but that's something else. I've seen engineering vehicles. I've seen anti-aircraft vehicles. I've seen all kinds of support AFVs.
How about the memes are great. So
how about
run with it?
How about if we substitute tracked vehicle for tank?
All right.
That stuff is like 45, 50. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Couple other items. So I ran into our friends, Greg and Alicia, formerly of Dust USA.
Where'd you run into them at?
Greg works for Modifius now.
Well, I thought he was the Gamma rep.
He is that as well. He's got 13 jobs, Mom.
Oh, okay.
So
he's at Modifius now, huh?
Yeah. So I ran into them and I was chatting with them a little bit, and as we know, Modifius has
here we go.
Has a relationship with Battlespace. So of course I'm like, where is my game? So Gavin, who is like their super line production manager guy, I forget his actual title, but he's up there. Was very non-committal about it. He's like, yes, it's in the mix. We got a lot. They do have a lot of irons on the fire.
They do.
But what he and Greg said is to look forward to a big announcement at Gen Con. Now, they didn't give me, I'm like, can I get an exclusive? And they're like, go pound sand.
Greg wouldn't give you an exclusive?
So,
I know what? We need to invite him into the studio.
I don't know if that's in relation to Battlespace or other stuff, because they've got a bunch of other things.
Yeah. They have a ton of stuff going on.
So, look forward to an announcement from them at Gen Con.
Cool.
All right, and then my last little blurb here is from Pen and Sword. So they have a Henry Hyde authored Wargaming Campaigns hardback book. So this is something that can help you in being able to develop campaigns for your own games.
Mm-hmm.
You can. They talk about the, producing maps, devising mechanisms for strategic movement, intel, logistics, blah, blah, blah. All sorts of good stuff there.
Yeah.
And then he even has a set of campaign rules that are useful up until 1900. So early, earlier than what we normally deal with. But all of the principles can be applied here.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in that, I don't know, again, how much this really is. What I can tell you is that there's an introductory offer for £32 for the book. And once that offer expires, the retail is going to be £40. So whatever that converts into, and the money
£40 is roughly about $47.
So, but that you can go to Pen and Sword .co.uk, blah blah blah, to find it, or just look up Wargaming Campaigns hardback, and that should come up. So I thought that was interesting, and some folks that we often deal with are like, yeah, I would like to have my own campaign system for this game, but it doesn't have one. Well, maybe this is something that can help you make one if you want to go there.
There you go. All right,
and that, gentlemen, I use the term loosely, is the news.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Just a couple quick updates. Guys see the new trailer for Top Gun Maverick?
Yep.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for that. It looks awesome. Finally, we might actually get to see it this year.
It's been alleged,
right?
But we'll see
May
next
27th,
month.
I believe it is.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Memorial Day weekend.
Did you notice? We'll see how observant you guys are. During the trailer, there's one point where Maverick looks back over his shoulder to see a plane go by him, right? It kind of does a heads up Cobra maneuver type thing. Yeah. Did you see what airplane he was in?
It appears to be a Tomcat.
It is. It's a Tomcat. Where does this Tomcat come in?
Yeah, but
they're not in the inventory anymore.
I was gonna say, turns out we're not really flying those these days.
Yeah.
So
maybe he stole it from the Iranians.
Could be. They still do have a few that are actually flying, but they can't get parts for their ones because the Navy said, eh. All right. I had something else, but I totally forgot. That's fine. We're going to move on to our topic. We'll do the Adepticon wrap up as our last bit. Okay.
Yep. Whenever.
All right. So our topic today is how do you play tabletop games without miniatures? Right. So the reason I thought about this is because Dawn and I are getting ready to make a big lifestyle change. And that change is going to limit our space. I won't have
the giant game library and
miniatures and
huge board.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I still want to be able to play some war games,
Sure.
you know, outside of counter, you know, hex and counter games like your Avalon Hill stuff and those things. How do I simulate, quote unquote, miniature games without having miniatures? Chris, if you pull that first box out top right there, my friend. So there's a current Kickstarter for the second iteration of this game. This is called Onus, the historical battle game. And it uses miniatures, quote unquote, but they're on cards.
Yep.
You want to open that up for me? I don't want to mess any controls up. But essentially what you get in there, this is Rome versus Carthage. You get a nice little fabric.
Battle mat.
Yeah, battle mat. And then the miniatures are actually these playing cards. See that? Just take that one right off top, Chris. So you actually
see the battle mat there.
Have these cards that have miniatures on them. They have all your stats on them, and you literally move them across your battle mat just like you would have miniatures, and there's rulers and things like that. And you do wheels and turns and things.
So it's kind of your card is essentially the base.
It's essentially your base of miniatures. So
there's little units on the cards.
Nice.
So it's a lot of fun, you know, and I've got the terrain set, so you actually get mats. I think I got 2 different mats.
So
and you get these like acrylic overlays for like walls and rivers and roads. So you literally have a miniature space game in a box.
Yeah,
easily stored.
And I was gonna say, and it's a box this big,
right?
I mean, it's pretty compact.
Yeah. and you don't have to paint it.
Yeah, Chris's favorite.
Woo!
Yeah. So, you know,
very nice.
Yeah. So I like that.
Hold on, I'm putting this on my pile.
Okay.
All right, talk
Wait, no, you can't put it on your pile.
Talk amongst
Dude,
yourself.
you said
I need to see a man about a coffee.
Yep. Anyway, so the next one I have there is this isn't really miniature space, but I do like the theming of this game. It's made by the same company, believe it or not, as the last one we just showed you. This is called 2GM TWG. It means something in Spanish like World War II. If anybody's according to that, but it's you get a mat over here, and you use these resource cards, and you actually go up columns, and so it kind of gives you and it scratches your itch for World War II, if you will. So it's not really miniature quote unquote replacement, but it does do the job. So I mean, you have like here I have a Panzer IV with all the range and stuff, and you do move them all across this mat. So if anybody's interested, we can always do a show of that at some point, a demo game. And then last but not least, we have a game that for whatever reason, I've always been attracted to. What's that?
Did you want to show
I already showed it.
Okay.
What I have is Heroes of Normandy. It's kind of your top-down version, grid with miniatures. Just hand me one of those miniatures. I don't have to get too fancy with it. No, here. These are miniatures right here, bud.
Oh.
So you have, that's a target, but there's miniatures in there. It's all right. So basically you have top-down miniatures. Yes, just grab one of those characters down there. Perfect. So here I've got a Sherman. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Panzer IV. Here's a Panzer IV, and if you can see those. If anybody's familiar with this, here's Oddball.
Hey now.
Sherman tank. You play it, and again, it'll scratch your itch. You don't have to paint anything. You have mats. You have, game boards. So, hey, Paul, welcome to the show. Paul says, good game. It's on Steam as well. You're right. I do have the Steam version of Heroes of Normandy. So, and there's actually an Android version of 2GM as well. So, and then Piotr says, Bill, just go 6mm. They'll fit on a boat. I know, but weight and all that stuff. And
yeah, you know what?
I have 6mm Napoleonics.
So that reminds me of a hobby project that I started. Yeah? I don't know if I mentioned it.
What's that?
So you know how I said I want to make mini Battlespace?
Yeah.
I've started printing.
Did you get it?
Well, I've started.
Okay.
I printed out and painted my first. Painted the first 2. I printed a whole squad of dudes.
Yeah.
At 10 mil.
Oh, nice.
More details to follow during the Adepticon rollout.
Oh, all right.
Oh my God, is that hard to paint?
All right. So those are my suggestions for alternatives to miniature-based gaming. they kind of, obviously most of them are, well, one's, Bronze Age. Is it Bronze Age, Jim, for Rome versus Carthage? Or 2GM and Heroes of Normandy are World War II. So,
did we?
Yeah, we kind of lost Jim there. He had to step away. That's okay.
Oh, no worries. So, something I was thinking about is that a lot of the games that we play, you can do rule book, terrain mat instead of a full-on board like this. If you want flat terrain that is wholeheartedly available, you can get it as cards. You can get it in neoprene. You can get it in vinyl. Also, well, maybe not vinyl. Although we'll talk about that later. But you can get flat terrain, and then instead of miniatures, you can either use kind of like the one game where it's a top-down view, or like Jim makes for all the online stuff. Or you can use, your flat Stanleys, your little card figures.
Yeah.
Where
standees.
Yep. And, you can just put them together.
Yeah.
Move them around. And then when you're done, take them off their base. They're flat packed.
Yeah.
There's also the, I can't remember who, the acrylic standees, which are some really good looking.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember who makes them, and it's killing me. But, if you are able to take those off their bases, like it's a kind of a slotted base type of deal where you just slot your dude in there, you move them around, you're done, take the base off. Those are pretty compact as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
And those are, by the way, those are some good looking.
Oh yeah.
Miniatures.
Yeah.
Or standees, I guess. Because it's a high quality print in acrylic. I mean.
But
I don't know the process, but it looks good.
And, we need to definitely mention and highlight Jim's games, like we did Sit Rep Skirmish and Miami Vice Style, which was awesome. And, just the other versions, because it's miniatures just drawn, and he does an amazing job. He creates all those. Those are not pulled from some resource somewhere. He actually creates all those miniatures and the terrain. So you can play miniatures virtually via that.
Absolutely.
There's obviously it was that tabletop
simulator
and Vassal and things. But I honestly think Jim's version, really it scratches at it. We played Contact Front with it. We used his version of to play Contact Front, which we'll have to readdress at some time. I'm going to give a shout out to Tuffy Ears because she is one of our big followers. Holy mother, GW just announced squats are returning to 40K. Sorry, not historical. That's okay.
Yeah. But she's not wrong. They did.
It is big news. For those who don't know what squats are, they're space dwarves. Okay.
Weird.
Dwarves in space. So yeah, I mean, there's all those versions. I'm not sure what happened to Jim. He had to step away. I was hoping to get some more input from him, but that's okay. So if you guys have any suggestions for how do you play miniatures games without miniatures, PR says it's not historical, but it is history.
So
weird. We were having that conversation before
would
we
you
started.
like to get into that now?
No.
Should we transition to Adepticon?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So you were talking about the little acrylic things. I could just picture you on your boat coloring little shrinky dinks to put into a slotted.
Shrinky dinks.
But you know what? It would work.
I mean,
it's funny, but you're like,
wait a minute.
Wait a doggone minute.
That could be a thing.
Right?
That's very cool. All right. Let's transition. Unless anybody else out there has any suggestions. Again, remember, you can be part of the conversation. All you have to do is send me a message here in the comments. I'll private chat you with a link to get on Skype, and you can join our conversation at any point. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and transition into the Adepticon wrap-up.
Yeah, so Adepticon was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was.
I am so happy that we have a major convention like that in our local area that,
well, we technically have three. I mean, two big majors, one minor, if you will. We have the Adepticon, which is literally an hour from our house.
Not
even for you, it's less. And then we have Gen Con, which is 4 hours away.
Yeah,
by car. So,
but I'm not going to Gen Con.
Oh, but you have to go to Gen Con
at some point.
If you've never done Gen Con, you've got to do it at least once.
70,000 people in there.
It is crazy. But anyways, continue.
You have to make the Hajj once.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, maybe. But so one super hype that I got to go, and literally I go in, I get registration. I'm running late. They couldn't find my registration. So I pulled up my thing, and they're like, "Oh, hold on." They fill it out. They give me my swag bag. I've got a class that I'm going to, and it's a basing class. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
And I'm running, and I'm like, I know that guy, and I know that guy, and I know that guy, and I'm literally high-fiving YouTubers that I've seen. I'm like, I don't have side talk. I gotta get to class. Come screeching in, but I took a class from Seth Edmondson, the Hobby Sensei, if you're familiar with him on the YouTubes and the Twitches and all the other places where they're at. And that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was basing and weathering.
Okay.
Had a good time with that. And then
before you move on, one of the things that you had said that you told me that you were really impressed with the AK products.
Yeah. So
you cannot go wrong with AK products.
So I've never used them myself before, and we used them in this class, and I'm like, all right, I always kind of thought that this is just some overpriced BS. I will eat those words wholly now. You're not making a table with them.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're basing your miniatures, you've got a small diorama.
Yeah.
Something. Wow. Those. I mean, their texture stuff, their weathering stuff, their pencil.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep. So we kind of collectively invested. I got the pencil set, the weathering pencil set.
The set.
The set.
Oh, you got the set? Nice.
The rollout. $70. Here's
37.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 35 or 40 pencils in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I bought a book on how to use them. Because I'm like, man, that's a lot of stuff. We should probably figure out how.
I mean, when you look at the pictures, you're like, damn.
But it's kind of like painting when you're layering or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a technique to it, and in the book it lays out all sorts of different techniques. To, if this is the effect you're going for, use this color, then this color, and then do this, and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da.
And you were saying stuff like chipping would be easier with the pencils because it's like a 7-layer process with paint.
Yeah, and, well, I don't know if it'll be easier, but it'll be faster, I bet.
No.
I mean, there's no dry time, literally.
Yeah.
So I look forward to trying that out.
And
Very
that
cool.
was Michigan Toy.
Oh, Toy Soldier.
Yeah.
They had a nice display there.
Yeah, they have a really nice store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, who's the dudes that are next to him?
I don't know, but
it's it's the same guys that are next to him every year that are they do the wheel and then they all scream for the.
Oh yeah. I can't remember who that is, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I mean,
neck paint. Take the paint out.
Stiff neck painting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no bang against them. They have good stuff and good products, but they do like a raffle giveaway kind of thing where you spin the wheel of fortune, and the more people that yell with you, the more chances you get in a raffle.
Right.
So all day long it's
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I'm like, man, I would not want to be the booth next to him.
Yeah.
That seems like it would get old after 3 or 4 days.
It does.
Yeah.
Trust me. When you're recording for 4 days and you're on the floor trying to do interviews and it's somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that they
long live the emperor. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it
is fun.
Those
it
guys
does
are
make it fun.
Yeah, they're wholly 100% into it, and they seem like they have a good time. So
and they get a lot of people involved.
Yeah, good on them.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. What else?
So, let's see. So we
talked to John.
Yeah, we talked to John from Warlord Games.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
He did wear his kilt on Saturday.
Nice.
Yep. John also introduced us to John.
Yeah. So
John, which John?
Emron.
I don't know.
He's the guy that actually owns Impute Immortal, and he was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we got a chance to talk to him, and
briefly he was working. So.
Yeah.
Right. one-man shop.
Yep.
You know, he and his wife and somebody else there. I'm not sure if that was his son or someone else, but there's another guy working with him. He is a really good, down-to-earth guy, and he is, you know, they're just trying to work through all the issues of getting it from transferring stuff over from Walt to him, like their webpage. That's why it's down. Is nobody can get into Walt's page. Yeah.
I don't think even Michelle had access to everything.
She didn't, you know, and you know, that's why he's talking about some of the trials and tribulations. And you know, talking to both John Russell from Warlord and John from Imputing More, you know, everyone, you know, everyone expresses you know, their sorrow and surprise at, you know, Walt's passing. And John Embry for that has his own company prior to this. So he's kind of merged them, if you will, but
there's something like Big Daddy Games or something like
that. Dad's Hobbies or Dad's Games is what it was, and he
had to go.
Adopted
so we didn't get a
no, I got it.
But he's adopted the Imputing Mortal moniker because he wants to honor Walt's legacy, as well as you know, let's face it, there was already you know, a lot of community goodwill that Walt had built up that he wants to take advantage of.
Of course.
Smart business move.
He did say he had to take down the Etsy page.
Yeah. So his Etsy store, he literally had to turn it off because he's had so he bought Walt's lasers or lasers. I think it was two.
He got from a couple.
So trying to get them set up and running, you know, after they moved. So
and never owning one.
So he had
big learning curve.
And a lot of technical issues. And so literally he gets more business than he can produce because he's only got one laser running right now. So he's trying to keep up, and he's got plans to he will eventually, if he gets everything running, have 3 lasers going.
It's good stuff. I mean, if he's using Walt's stuff, I mean, that's what all that is.
He is. So, he had it all on display there.
Not all of it. He had a lot of it. He had a lot of good stuff.
I still have the Great Bear Lodge upstairs. I have 2 versions. One was supposed to go back to Walt as a demo piece, and then I have my copy. So no.
What, you putting that on a boat?
Maybe. I might give you one copy.
No, but he was a really nice, down to earth, genuine dude. You know, just, you know, again, one man shop, like kind of like Walt was. Trying to get through you know, the trials and tribulations of getting it up and running. So we wish him the best of luck. It was you know, really good time talking to him for the few minutes that we had. And John, we wish you the best of luck, sir.
There you go. All right, what else?
So you were talking about your little
all right, so you talking about you know, how to game without without miniatures, and we talked about, you know, gaming Matt. Well, we met a company there called Matt's by Mars.
I know Matt's by Mars.
And really good dudes. So Chris,
we met both of them.
So it was Mario and Andrew? No, Alexander. Alex. So we met both of them. Really good guys. Had a good time talking to them. Talked about some options, and one of the options that
they're going to make us a Sit Reps podcast specific, Matt.
They can. And what I asked them about specifically was a winter map for Savage Frontier.
Oh, nice.
Because we don't have one. You know, so I thought that was a good option. They have redone their formula for their vinyl.
I think we have a couple of their mats around here somewhere. Let me see.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you do. So
I think we do.
But they've redone their formula, and they think, and it's
because they're vinyl, they're not neoprene, right?
Right, vinyl. It's all vinyl. So they think that they might be able to actually do flat scenery without it curling with this new formula.
Well, that'd be cool.
That would be literally a game changer. You know.
So I ended up buying a mat for Star Trek Armada or Star Wars Armada.
Oh, did you?
Yes, the space ones.
Nice.
And they can put anything on there that
they can print.
If you can give them
an image file.
If you can give them a TIFF or a vector file.
Vector would be your best option.
And that's what he said. You can use wet erase, not dry erase.
Hey, can you turn the heat back on?
You can use wet erase markers on it.
Yeah.
And it'll come right off.
Yep.
Well, you can read your handwriting.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. I mean,
so their mats are
their
mats are very matte.
Yeah.
But there's like literally there's no glare. It's a
Yeah.
good matte finish on there, so it doesn't make it hard to see your terrain. Or if you've got one that's got you can have a hex overlay, you can have a grid overlay, whatever you want. You can still see it. And,
Yep.
Again, wet erase, as Chris said, it's okay. Don't use anything alcohol based because
that'll take the ink off.
Yeah.
But
again, they're looking at roads, rivers, other scenery, flat scenery type stuff. If this works out, they're still in the process of doing that experimentation.
Yeah.
But they'll do a customized mat of anything you want. Either you tell them and they'll go find it, or if you say, hey, here's like, let's say we wanted to do a specific battle and we wanted the actual like satellite footage as our overlay.
Yep.
So you could do Antietam or Bull Run or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if we wanted to do like Benghazi instead of creating the map, well, we would still need it online for our game.
But it's too big to do that.
But you could literally zoom in on a small
it'd be more for your
it.
skirmish battles, not big terrain saves.
So 200 DPI.
That's not bad.
No,
I mean, 300 would be better, but 200 is not bad.
Well, no, he said.
No, it has to be a minimum of
image
200
resolutions. Okay, gotcha.
So
can't go lower than 200.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he will do whatever you want.
Awesome.
And it is. You want to give him the address?
Oh yeah. It's just www.matsbymars.com.
There you go.
Good dudes. We had a good time talking to them. We ran into them 2 or 3 times during the course of the show. And
they even helped you with your little hobby.
Oh yeah. So my baby Battlespace game. Yeah. So I said, hey, I'm looking for some desert terrain overlay here. Do you have little sections? Well, they had sample ones. Yeah. Like they were a little bigger than 1 by 1, maybe
the size of your laptop.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe like 14 by 14 squares. Sure. Yeah, they gave me to them. Just
nice.
Here, take these. So, thanks, Mario. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
That's gonna go to good use. We'll see that in the future.
Nice.
And real quick, Commander, you need to get us some cards for.
I know. When we go to Little Wars, we'll have cards because I remember last year. I'll get them up. They come pretty. If I had been in a better place, we would have been at Adepticon in a formals because we were asked. To be honest with you, but because it is a huge opportunity to get the word out. But before you continue on, speaking of that, we're at 745 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and thank you to everybody who's recently joined us. Once we hit 800 subscribers, we will draw a name on the North America side, this side of the world, and one on the European side or that side of the world. And we will give you $100 gift certificate to either to Miniatures Market or to Wayland Games or something overseas.
What about the Aussies? Where do they fall in? They're in their own continent.
We'll figure it out. So, but yeah, to celebrate 800 subscribers, we want to thank you guys all very much on that. So yeah. All right.
So, we'll kind of continue our tour of our interactions with.
You
folks
got 7 minutes
in the vendor. Okay. So in that case, our good friends over at Games and Gears.
Yeah.
Damn, that guy he could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Can he?
Yeah.
Oh, good old Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
Oh, wait.
That's Sir Sam.
Sir Sam.
He's been knighted.
What?
Yeah, showed us pictures and everything.
Yeah.
He got knighted?
Yeah.
Wow! Congratulations.
So Sir Sam. Sir Sam might have sold both of us the full Adepticon bundle.
Yeah.
I did need new paintbrushes, and so we were over at Scale 75, and I'm like, I'm not paying $74 for their 4 or 5 brush set. Yeah. So instead I spent $150 Games and Gear. Yeah. But I did get a little thing of soap. Yeah. All 6 sets are them. So
yeah. It was 120, right?
Oh yeah.
So, you know what? Speaking of brushes, real quick, Sam's awesome, and yeah, you're right. He can sell snow to an Eskimo. But if you watch Geek Gaming Scenics, Luke, I think his name's Luke, right? Yep. He just did a video on how you can extend the life of your brushes, whether they're synthetics or naturals.
Yep.
So if you really want to see how to get your hook tips and everything back, check out that video. It's really good.
Yeah,
so,
I've seen the video that you're talking about, and yeah, Luke's on the money there. Yeah. So by all means. Mini Master Works is a company that was present there. I bought a Vortex mixer from them.
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So I did not.
Donna know all about these.
I was spending my gun money
and birthday money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because my birthday was opening day of Adepticon, appropriately enough.
Yeah, there you
go. But they are the ones. They had a Kickstarter a couple of years ago for their little portable hobby station.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I did not realize it was that company until we were leaving the table. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what's that?
Yeah.
So that Kickstarter got killed by
COVID.
But they're going to bring it back. They're displaying it. So if that is something that you're familiar with,
it is nice. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Vortex? Have you used it yet?
I have, and it's not the 100% solution, but it is a lot better than me trying to shake up a lot of that stuff. It really.
Have you used my paint shaker upstairs? Mine's like you would see it. Yeah, the Robert.
Yeah, you kind of need them both.
Do you?
You kind of need them both. The one thing that you have to have
ball bearings in them.
You have to have some sort of mixing ball inside there.
And I'll be honest with you, the ones I bought off of Amazon, they're nice, but they're too small.
Yeah.
They need to be a bigger gauge.
And the problem is when you buy them, like I did, I bought them from Amazon. I didn't know which ones to get. I'm worried about getting something too big to fit into the bottle.
Yeah.
But we talked to Army Painter.
Well, don't buy 1/2-inch ball bearings then.
Yeah. So it would mix up the paint.
So real quick, Tuffy Ears said, gun money quotes, I dread to ask.
Oh, so I might be into shooting a little bit.
Yeah.
So when I say gun money, it's literally I teach firearms marksmanship and concealed carry here in Illinois. So my money from that goes into its own special little slush fund that is generally for me to buy more guns and ammo. However, Adepticon happened, and I will need to do some more teaching to replenish that fund.
Yep.
And then Tuffy Ears goes, bank jobs? ? So Novus asked, does Mats by Mars make custom mats for anyone? And they do.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You just got to send them the file.
Yeah. Just literally www.matsbymars.com, and information's on their webpage, sir.
Yep. Mini Masterworks, they have a bunch of other little neat things for painting.
They have a lot of hobby accessories for painting.
And so we both bought some stuff from them.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, nice stuff.
Yeah.
So we would be remiss if I know that we're coming up hard. So I'm gonna pass on the rest of these dudes right now because they had a whole historical gaming section there, right?
Yep.
So Mike Rafferty was the guru running that. Each day that I was there, we checked in with them to see what was going on. They had they filled some big spaces there. Good. So very popular. Warlord was running demo games and had their crew in there because they were physically separate. All the historical games were over at the Hyatt.
Yeah, it was separate. Which it's a shame, but I understand because there was no space. But
I mean, other than the fact that there were no vendors there, the gaming itself, the dudes were all over the place. I mean, name it, it was there. They were running it. They had the upstairs and downstairs meeting spaces pretty much full. Yeah. So I talked to Mike a little bit about it'd be really cool if in the future we could, if you're not having the vendor hall over here, and I get that the vendors are going to want to be where the majority of the traffic is.
Correct.
But could we not do some historical specific classes, like maybe some painting specific to painting your 28 millimeter World War II or your 28 millimeter current era guys, how how to paint multicam or any of those crazy camouflage patterns.
You could teach a class. You just let them know you want to teach a class.
You know, how to do weathering on your Team Yankee tanks or whatever it is you want. You know, I think that there's an opportunity there. And, you know, obviously first year back, you know, they're trying, you know.
Yep.
You know,
it was still very well run.
Yes. And they did a ginormous Team Yankee game.
Yeah. Well, this was qualifiers.
And then
I think this first year that Battlefront's been back to do actual qualifiers, not only for Team Yankee, but Flames of War.
Yeah. Yep. Both of those, except so the game I'm talking about is a narrative game. It wasn't part of the tournament. I mean, it was like 16 players.
Wow.
It was huge.
Yeah, we'll talk about Team Yankee at some point. I like Team Yankee. Jim and I were at the boot camp when it came out Thanksgiving weekend several years ago. I do have some qualms about it, and I know Piotr really likes Team Yankee, and I you know, it's not a bad. Sometimes I feel like it gets parking lot. Yeah, you know, because Jim, jump in if you will. You know, when we were at the boot camp, you were playing on a 4x4 space. Yeah, you know, and when you have the Russian horde of what were they, T-72s, Jim?
Well, unfortunately, they were T-72s.
Yeah,
which aren't the right tank, but that's what they had.
Yeah.
And I think the 4x4 table was sort of a limitation of the venue.
Yeah.
I mean, you were trying to get as many participants because, I mean, you don't go to the boot camp for the game, you go for the people.
Right.
So they wanted as many people as they could get in there. The unfortunate side effect on that, the flip side of that is that means the tables are going to be kind of small because there's only so much space.
Yeah.
So the narrative.
But even if you play, even if you play on like an 8x, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that. So the narrative game that they played, not the tournament games, but the narrative game that they played with all these players. 8-foot table long ways, 8-foot table sideways connected to it, 2 8-foot tables side by side, another 8-foot table, and then I think 3 8-foot tables side by side parallel. I mean, it was huge.
Oh yeah, I mentioned those. Yeah.
So they actually kind of got the range
15
on
mil,
that one.
At 15 mil, add like another 30 feet per table, and you'll be pretty close.
I mean,
I'm just playing.
Right, but I mean that's
I know it's been said before, but I'll say it again. If you played in 6 mil, you fixed a lot of the problem.
Yeah, Piotr just said you can play in 6 mil. It makes more sense. I mean, it's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. You know, I have not played the most recent edition. We play original. You know, and it's been a while since I've played, but you know, it is nice to see Historicals has that venue. So yeah. Next year we'll have to do it right. We'll do it right.
And we will see many of those folks at Little Wars as well.
Yep.
You know,
one of the things that was nice to see is when we were there in 2019, there was a guy who had a table this big just outside of your studio or your office.
Yeah.
I mean, he was tiny. Right?
Yeah.
It was one guy or two guys.
Two dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, in a very massive table and huge.
Game Envy, you remember them? The little hobby holder?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've blown up over the past couple of years. And they had a full it was probably a 15-foot booth in the main vendor hall.
Yeah.
And 3-4 people working it. I mean, it was really
it's good to see some growth.
It is.
Yeah.
They've got some nice stuff.
Good. And it's just good to see, you know, hobby companies succeeding.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And we our first introduction to them was them just getting off the ground, and now you come back and you see them, you're like, wow, look at all this stuff, and these guys are making it. So good on them.
All right, so Piotr says took 3rd place last weekend in a 2-day tournament with France. Good for him.
Yeah, I saw that, buddy.
Congrats. Jim, we're about ready to wrap up the show. I know you had to jump off for a bit. Do you have any things that your go-to? I talked about set rep skirmish, you know, the way you do it. As far as tabletop gaming without miniatures, you know, what's your, you know, go-to? Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Honestly, people already know everything I'm going to say because we do it every week. But it sounds like I agree with what you guys are talking about. We've done it with Air War C-21, Naval Command, Miami freaking Vice, you name it.
Miami Vice.
We've done it with
Yeah. So, yeah. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and close out the show. We want to thank everybody who joined us this morning live.
Yes,
and like I said,
awesome. What a
crowd. We really appreciate all your participation, your support of this channel. It does our heart good to see the numbers climbing. It's kind of a confirmation that we're doing something right.
Yep.
And we do appreciate you. And we would love to have you part of the conversation on the live show.
I mean, we may not be good, but apparently we're entertaining.
Yeah, at least that, right? So,
like watching a train wreck or something.
Right. So if you would like to join us on a future show, we'll be back in 2 weeks. Like I said, you can just send us a message and I'll send you the link to jump into the call. And you can spew that historical warfare love that you may have. So for the rest of the crew, this is Bill, and we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we will see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Take care.
You have been listening to the Sitrep podcast. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our channels on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. Remember to join us every other weekend for a new episode of the podcast, and don't forget our other programming on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thanks for listening.